5 defenses to stream in Week 8. First up is the Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. After weeks 1 and 2, I think many people had the Saints pegged as the best team in the NFL. But they have definitely come back down to earth, and over the last 2 weeks, they have hit rock bottom, giving up a combined 84 points. And over those 2 games, we've gotten the Spencer Rattler experience, which has been lackluster to say the least. Through his 2 starts, he's taken 11 sacks, has thrown 2 interceptions, and has 3 fumbles, losing 2 of them. I not only like the Chargers this week because of the good matchup, I also like them because of what happened on Monday night. They lost a very winnable game against the Cardinals, and yes, some of it was due to officiating, but they had plenty of opportunities to take it away. And even if the Saints get back Chris Olave from a concussion, I don't think it's going to help very much. This offense looked downright dysfunctional and terrible against Denver last Thursday night, even with Alvin Kamara in the lineup. This team is sorely missing the presence of Derek Carr and Rashid Shaheed. Dennis Allen is definitely on the hot seat, and this game may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Number 2 on the list is the Detroit Lions. The Tennessee Titans have the 2nd worst turnover differential in the league with -9, and it's looking more and more like Mason Rudolph will draw another start. And he didn't look that great last week against Buffalo. The Bills held him to 10 points while also racking up 3 sacks, getting 1 interception, and also a fumble recovery. It also doesn't help that the Titans dealt DeAndre Hopkins earlier this week, and they may be without Tyjae Spears again, leaving Rudolph very little outside of Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard. Detroit may not have Aiden Hutchinson anymore, but I think they'll build a big enough of a lead to allow their pass rushers to pin their ears back and rack up a couple of sacks. Number 3 on the list is the Green Bay Packers. The Jaguars may have won 2 of their last 3 games, but I would pump the brakes. Things were looking pretty grim last week after falling behind by 10 to a very weak New England Patriots team. They still aren't passing the eye test in my opinion, and this week they get a Packers defense that is very stout. Green Bay has been excellent at creating turnovers all year. They lead the league with 17, and they've also been able to get to the quarterback. They have 20 sacks, which is tied for the 6th most. They're quietly the number 3 scoring defense in fantasy, averaging 10.4 points per game, and I think they have a good chance to maintain their spot after this week. Jacksonville has not been good from playing from behind, and I have a feeling they'll be forced to do so again this week. Number 4 on the list is the Atlanta Falcons. The Buccaneers are going to be without both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, so their aerial attack is undoubtedly going to be hindered. Even though Baker Mayfield is leading the league with 18 passing touchdowns and has been a fantasy darling all year, he has faltered a bit over the past 2 weeks, taking 4 sacks and throwing 5 interceptions. In my opinion, given that the Buccaneers have 3 capable running backs in Rachaad White, Bucky Irving, and Sean Tucker, it wouldn't surprise me to see them lean into their running game a bit more this week, especially while they're trying to figure out who's going to fill the void for Evans and Godwin. Atlanta should also come into this game plenty motivated, especially off of a bad loss against Seattle, and this is a divisional matchup for first place in the NFC South. Number 5 on the list is the Washington Commanders. Since week 4, the Commanders have been the number 3 scoring defense in fantasy. During that span, they've racked up 15 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and have 1 defensive score. The Commanders may be without rookie phenom Jaden Daniels, so I'm expecting them to run the ball quite a bit more. And even if Daniels does suit up, I'm still expecting them to employ a run-heavy game script just to protect him. They'll likely lean on their defense as well, and I can see this being one of those grinded-out games. To Caleb Williams' credit, it definitely seems like he's turned a corner over these last 2 weeks, throwing for 6 touchdowns and only 1 interception, but this has been against the Panthers and the Jaguars. Washington is a much more formidable opponent, and Williams is still tied for 3rd in terms of sacks taken with 20, and the fact that he's been holding the ball a bit more should only help Washington. Those are 5 defenses to consider streaming in Week 8. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know which defenses you think we should stream in the comments below.